everyone, my name is Gusti Indah Setiawati. I'm from 3A. In this video, I'm going to show you the lesson plan that I made with the strategy that I choose. Hope this can be reference for the teacher out there who wants to try something new in their learning activities. In this video, I'm going to focus on listening skills. Listening skills is one of the skills that are very important in learning language, especially English. And the strategy that I choose is listening through story. The strategy means we're providing students a story that they can listen to and they can get something out of that story. We also can do some question and answer and discuss the story together with the students. And the topic for this material is narrative text. Alright, we move to the media that being used in these activities. I use 3 media, so the first one is PowerPoint, the second one is YouTube videos, and the third one is worksheet. Alright, we move to the example of the media being used. Just like what you see on the screen, I provided 2 examples of the story that I was going to use. You can choose one of them. The first one is the fairy tale story, and the second one is the simple practice English story. I also provided the link so it will be easier for you to access the story. And for the worksheet can contain questions that are related to the stories that you choose. Okay, so this is the example of the lesson plan that I made, just like what you see on the screen. My school name is Lentera Budaya International Schools. The subject is English language, and it's for grade 10. And the time allotment for these activities is 40 minutes, and the main material is narrative text. I also provided the objectives, which is the students able to identify the social functions, the generic structures, the language features, and implement narrative text in their real-life situation. Alright, next is the teaching learning activities. So the first one is the preliminary activity. This is an online learning. So the teacher and students enter the virtual classroom. Teacher and students say hello to each other and followed by praying together. The next is the teacher explains about what is the material being taught in this session. This is very important. It's like the teacher gives the students a stimulus before starting the main activities. And the time allotment for these activities is 5 minutes. Alright, so this is the main activity of my lesson plan. I made it quite specific. So the first activity is the teacher tells the students that they're going to watch a video. So in this part, the teachers has to make it's the excited as possible. It makes students excited about what the things that they're going to do. And the second one is the teacher presents the video that contain a story in it. This is the part where the teacher presents this video. The third is the teacher asks the students to listen to the story carefully. And the fourth is the teacher prepare worksheet that contain few questions related to the story. And the fifth is the teacher play the video for the second time and students try to find and remember specific information from the story. This is a very important part because when in listening section, the teacher need to repeat the story to make sure that the students catch something from the story. And next is the teacher give the students the worksheet that contain questions related to the story and give them time to answer. The next activities is the teacher play the video for the last time and discuss the answer with the students. In this part, the teacher can play the video and discuss the answer together. It's like and then ask the students to answer the questions and then check with the video if the answer is already right or not. Alright, next is the teacher allows students to ask questions about the story. So in this part, the students, if they have a questions, they can freely ask the teacher anything about the story. The next is the teacher asks the students to tell the moral value of the story. This is the part where the teacher gives the students chance to speak what they get from the story. And the last is the teacher asks students to retell the story with their own language. This is also important to just like what I said before, it gives the students chance to speak it out what they get from the story with their own language. Alright, next is the closing activities. So the first one is the teacher asks students if they understand the material. This part is to make sure that students get something from the lesson. The next is the teacher appreciate all students' hard work and give them motivations. This part sometimes being forgotten by the teacher, even though this part is really important, because when the teacher gives the students motivations, it can make them being more excited for the next lesson. And the next is the teacher asks the students to give a review about the method being used. So in this part, the students can give their opinion about the method or the media being used in this lesson. The next is the teacher closes the sessions like usual. And the last is the class is ended by teacher lead the prayer and gives farewell, leaving the virtual room. Alright, so that is all about my lesson plan. So let's move to the next slide. Alright, now we're going to talk about the strengths and limitations of this strategy. So the first one is the strengths. It can increase students' vocabulary. By listening to stories, they can get a new vocabulary. And the next is it can increase students' imaginations. Of course, by listening to story, it can get them be more imaginative about something. And next is it can motivate students to learn more because these learning activities is fun for them. This is a very important of these learning activities. This is like the purpose of this learning activities is like to motivate students and to get the activities to be fun for them. Okay, and the limitations for this strategy is it's hard to choose story that fits all the students. As we know that students have their own interests, so it's kind of hard for teacher to choose the right story for the student, because if the teacher does not choose the right story, then the student will easily get bored or uninterested with the lesson and etc. But it can be fixed by teacher. You can choose like stories that are maybe already popular or funny for students. Next is for students with lack of listening skills, they will be hard to catch the story. Okay, not all students are good at listening, right? So before this session, the teacher can give like a video first or a simple practice about listening before joining the class. So the teacher can give the material before the class, so just to make sure that the students ready for the lesson. Alright, that is all about my video. Hope you enjoyed the video and thank you so much for watching. I apologize if there are any mistakes. Thank you so much. Thank you.